All right. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to come and join the show. Some of the things which we'll be actually taking them into account today. Our main focus will be focusing on different types of companies which people are currently actually registering. We have noticed that a lot of people they are actually finding it difficult to understand how different companies actually operate. Looking on seeing a high number of people registering companies, not knowing the effects of what they're doing. So we have noticed that it's very much important that people need to understand that when you are going to register a company, you need to firstly know. Um, so you firstly need to know why you want to register a company. That's first point number one. Two, what are some of the things which are actually obliging you to register a company? Because definitely you can't just start by registering a company not knowing why you're registering a company. Three, before you register a company, you need to ask yourself this question: what product or what service I am going to supply? I mean, what product or service which I'll be able. I am going to supply. So because it's very much important. I mean, what product or service which I'll be able. Because it's very much important for me to say this because you find that you're registering a company, you don't maintain the company. Because I will tell you this: when you are actually registering a company, bear it in mind there are returns that need to be submitted to a CIPC. If you have registered your company for VAT, you have registered your companies with SARS, there are returns that need to be submitted. But if you are actually not compliant, I am telling you, you are going to experience serious problems to a point whereby it will come to a point whereby you are going to find it difficult to operate. And the moment you find it difficult to operate, it's going to sabotage your business. And remember, when it sabotages your business, it simply means that your company now is going to suffer. Because a lot of people, what they usually do, you find that the thing that we're actually aware of and what we know that currently they're doing, they will just register a company, not take a lot of those things into account. For instance, they know for sure that when actually want to register a company, first and first, you need to get advice from professional people. When I'm talking about professional people, you need to get advice at least if you get an advice which is coming from an accountant, which is coming from a person who understands. So you know for sure that you're not taking the wrong decisions because you find that the decisions which you are taking are actually wrong. But because of you do not actually associate yourself with the right people, people who have been in the industry for some time, it's going to be difficult for you. Because one thing that I can tell is that it's very much important to make sure that you associate yourself with people who understand what you're doing. Because if it comes to a point that you just decide to, to run an entity, to register a lot of different things, which you find that you yourself you don't even understand how these things operate, you're gonna put yourself in trouble. You'll be in a position of whereby it comes to a point where you need to submit let's say you're collecting VAT money from the clients and you're showing the money. Now, now it will come to a point whereby you need to pay that money. It will come to a point whereby now you need to submit that money to the SARS because you're not away. And one thing that most of you guys need to take into account is that when you're going to register for a VAT, which is the value added tax, you do not just start by registering for value added tax. You register for value added tax only if your company for the past 12 months of operation it made R1 million or R500,000. If it made R1 million, it's a must. You need to register for VAT. But if your company for the last 12 months of the financial period, your company made R500,000, it depends with you as the owner of the company whether you are actually going to go with the compulsory registration. I mean, the volunteer registration, you're going to volunteer to register for VAT. That is one point that I want to tell you because if you are actually going to register for VAT for the sake of you going to a tender where you don't know how much you're going to get. Because I know that a lot of people who tell you that they have registered for VAT because at the tender side they requested them to get the. And that one is on point. We understand that one. We definitely understand that one. When in most cases you find that they encourage them to make sure that they have the what you call they have the value added tax in order for them to be able to go. What is this? Sorry. Okay, I beg your pardon. In order for them to be able to operate, which is good. The thing is that gather more information about the fact you are going to put yourself into hot shoes where you find that you are not even collecting that from people. You don't have proper systems which can tell about the VAT input and the VAT output. You are going to be in danger. So as I said, it's very much important to make sure that the systems which you are actually using, they are actually going to benefit you and they are actually going to help you to make sure that your business is at another level. And the thing that I can tell is that, you see, when you're operating a company, number one, you need to have a system in place which is going to assist you to make sure that your business is making a profit or loss. You find that you're operating a company, but you don't even have an invoicing system. When a client come in and say, okay, hi, can you please give me a quotation? You just go on a template of an invoice, you convert it into a quotation, you do a quotation, they ask for the invoice, you do that, the money comes in the account, and you chow it. That is not how it goes. You need to have a proper invoice system which will be able to keep track of all your information. It needs to be able to keep track of all the information that you are actually processing within your business. What happens if one of your client comes and say, "Hi, can you please give me information of a certain invoice number?" And it comes to your push that you don't have that kind of information because you have lost the invoices. Now it's going to put your business in an awkward situation where it shows that there's improper management, there is improper recording, there is improper systems which are used within your business. As I say, systems are very much important in a company so that your company can operate in a professional way, in a way in which if you might be in hot waters, but you can be able to prove that no, my business is okay. I'm not in hot water. So a lot of people don't understand actually why it's very much important for them to have systems in place. And also, it's very much important to make sure that the lawyers, the accountants which are working with them, are the people who are actually practicing what they're doing. If they're not practicing, either they could be business accountants, people who have been, I beg your pardon, people who have been authorized to advise strictly businesses. Those are some of the people that most of us need to take them into account. Because the worry part is that you find that you just meet someone as a stranger claiming that he is a business accountant. You give these people the time, you value these people, and when these people come to your business, I'm telling you, they are going to cause problems to a point of whereby it's going to affect you very well. It's going to affect you, and your business might even die. That's why it's very much important that you work with reliable business accountants. You associate yourself with different people who are in different fields. Because if you only have one accountant and he lies to you, you won't be able to prove it. If it comes to a point where one want to take an advantage of you won't be able to know. But if you are associated with different people from different places, it will be good for you. That is a short advice that I want to give to you is that number one, register your company. Two, make sure you have a free BEE and a company registration. Get a tax clearance, get a bank account. After getting a bank account, make sure that you have an accounting system in place that are going to use to record all the incomes and outcomes in a proper invoicing system. After that, make sure that you separate your personal, your personal, banking also with the business bank, and make sure that you don't use the business money for personal reasons. Because if you find that you are using the business money for personal reasons, it's going to be a problem where you find that the annual turnover of the business is actually 500,000 rand, and the owner of the company have utilized around about 75% of the business money for personal usages. What do we call that? When you look at it on the bank statement, there are no proper references, there are no any invoices. The director of the company is just keeping on chowing money or transferring money from the business to the private account. What do we call that? And most of, not to be feminine or to be racist, most of our black brothers and our black sisters, we see them. Most of them are the ones who are actually not practicing this thing well because you find a brother who asks for assistance from you that hi, can you please assist me by doing financial statements? It's not a problem. You assist them, but the thing is that you they put you in a position of whereby you even have to start by advising them before because it's a chaos, man. It's just a chaos of whereby if you don't advise your clients, you'll be in danger. So it's very much important to make sure that you advise them and make sure that they're on track so that they can be able to move to the next level. Tonight was just a very simple show and quite short. I thank you so much, guys, and enjoy the rest of your evening. I thank you so much.